Hello. Um, I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I intended to do a video on working with um, uh, other than human or other dimensional beings. And so I wanted to do that today. um, uh, I hear a lot about the Galactic Federation of Light. Um, People coming out and saying that they are members of this organization. Um, uh, and that's all very well. No disregard or disrespect to those people. Um, uh, However, and this goes for working with any being outside of yourself, whether they be incarnate or discarnate, whether they be archangels or fairies, elves, um, entities, or other spirits. They do not have authority over you. And it's very important for us as incarnate beings and for the sake of our humanity, our civilization, and our global existence on this planet, to be very conscientious of the energies that are being introduced to us. And so when working with these beings, it's important first that they honor your boundaries. And it's important for you to know what that being's agenda is. That is not always very clear-cut. Since we are currently in a third-dimensional reality, these beings exist in other dimensions. They have perspectives that are not our own. I do plan on releasing a video shortly as well on trust. Because it's not necessarily enough to take these beings' word as truth. And so first and foremost, we are always our own authority. If any being is putting you in a position that is unwanted or undesirable, for seemingly the sake of your expansion or your growth, you do not have to accept that. Within spiritual communities, when we talk about spirit, when we talk about source, when we talk about the Galactic Federation and Archangels, when we talk about spirit guides, we often put out and even have this impression that our suffering is somehow for our benefit. And so I would like to present to you and reflect on this at your own will. If you were in a position with another person face to face, and that person was damaging you, and saying this is for your own good, that's insane. And so yes, from a higher perspective, there are these situations where we garner growth from them. However, you do not have to learn from suffering. Unfortunately, that may not always be preventable, right? Sometimes we're put into positions and scenarios. I mean, living here, having been incarnate on this planet, right, is something that we seemingly, that we didn't have any control over. As youth and into adulthood, and perhaps through awakening. And so that's an entirely separate topic about being put into situations that are out of your control. I do take the stance that we are so exceptionally powerful that perhaps not anything is out of our control. That's a grave responsibility. And so, I would also like to say, it is the responsibility of these beings who interact with you to honor your boundaries. And you have every right to expect their excellence. And so, that doesn't mean that you will get it. However, it is something that you have the right to assert for yourself. And they, of course, have the right to ask for your excellence. And so I don't want to discourage anyone from communicating with the Galactic Federation of Light, Archangels, fairies, even entities. And that'll be a separate video as well. And most especially with your spirit guides. You have a right to demand their excellence. You have a right to demand their guidance. And you have a right to define the relationship that you have with them. And if that's as simple as asking for just communication with them, then you deserve that. And I hope that you get it. So, please know that although it seems almost heartbreaking, right, to be introduced to beings outside of yourself that are supposedly so magical and so higher conscious, so wise, and to maybe have a different experience of that than you would like. And so I ask you, and I invite you to hold the highest intentions with these beings and with yourself. However that may look for you. And I know that there will be times when that may not be the case. And yet, the aim and the goal is to live in harmony, and in many ways union with ourselves, with the planet, with the universe. And so I will be bringing through some light language. I bring through beings who I give the courtesy and the opportunity to offer and provide a loving, safe, enjoyable atmosphere for myself and all of you. Know that although you are never alone, if you want to be, that is okay. And if you don't, then I hope that you are treated with the greatest amount of dignity, compassion, and if you cannot show that to yourself, I hope that it is shown to you. And so thank you for being present with me today. I am, I hope, and in many ways, I look forward to what it is we all would like to see in ourselves, in our planet, and beyond, and beyond. And so I have two videos that I have previously posted. One is a prayer to Mother Earth and all those who hurt. Another is a prayer for interplanetary peace. I ask that you watch those. I ask that they serve their purpose as I intend them to. And I will at some point put out another video for world peace. And there's a bit of that came through now, so thank you, and namaste.